We all love movies, whether it's sweeping epics, side-splitting comedies, or those animated classics that we grew up on. We might all have different preferences and tastes, but at the end of the day, we all get that same thrill when the lights go down. Just like many of you, there were always certain movies that I liked to watch repeatedly when I was growing up. Hence this list. Now, just to be clear, this isn't necessarily a list of my favorite movies, nor is it a list of how frequently I've watched these movies. No, simply put, these are just movies that were almost always on my TV growing up. However, to keep the list from being overly crowded by sequels or dominated by more modern movies, I have set a couple rules. Rule number 1, no movies that were released after my 18th birthday. Now, movies before I was born are absolutely fair game. Rule number 2, only one film per franchise. When I was growing up, franchises like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Star Trek were really huge, and they laid the groundwork for the more franchise-heavy summers that we have today. So without further delay, here are 13 movies that dominated my childhood. Number 13. Ghostbusters. Is there something strange in your neighborhood? Well, there certainly was in mine following the release of this spooky classic. Starring a cast of comedy legends including Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis, Ghostbusters was instantly one of the most quotable, rewatchable movies of all time. I can still remember the awe I felt the first time I saw Slimer moving around the Chadwick Hotel, or seeing the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man wreak havoc on Manhattan. Fast-paced one-liners, stunning visual effects, and of course that catchy Ray Parker Jr. theme song ensured this movie haunted my television as I grew up, and for years to come.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Number 12. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Directed by John Hughes, this seminal teen comedy is chock full of memorable moments. From Ben Stein's droning roll call, Ed Rooney's relentless pursuit, a Charlie Sheen sighting, a parade, and of course, Ferris's mad scramble to get home at the end. Ferris's confidence and charisma are on full display throughout, making him one of the most likable characters ever put to film. I still tell anybody who asks, Abe Froman is the Sausage King of Chicago. And while it was intended by Hughes as a love letter to his hometown of Chicago, ultimately, it became a definitive love letter to his fans, and one of his best films.
Oh, well, he's very popular, Ed. The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
Number 11. The Secret of Nim. Upon seeing this animated masterpiece, I was blown away by both its darkness and realism. It was one of the first movies I could recall seeing as a child in which a character died. Don Bluth balances this with an attention to detail second to none. Rich performances including Dom DeLuise's Jeremy and Elizabeth Hartman's Mrs. Brisby stand out amidst a cast of wonderful supporting characters. A beautiful tapestry of storytelling and vibrant visuals make this film a must-watch for any animation fan.
If I had actually been near a cat, I'd be sneezing my brains out. See, I'm allergic to cat. I'm allergic to cat. I'm allergic to Excuse me, pardon me.
Number 10. The Goonies. The ultimate kids' adventure, The Goonies is a thrill ride from start to finish, featuring a jailbreak, a car chase, mad gadgets, pirate treasure, and booby traps. That's just a sample of what these misfits, led by Sean Astin, Josh Brolin, and Corey Feldman, get up to in this high-energy film from director Richard Donner. It also features a screenplay by Chris Columbus based on a story from Steven Spielberg. While certainly a complete experience, it always felt to me like the Goonies had been at this for years, and that there were other adventures that we hadn't seen. And although there's been a rumored sequel for years, the film really is lightning in a bottle. Sloth shouting, "Hey you guys," while wearing a Superman shirt still makes me smile to this day. The search for One-Eyed Willy's treasure was a staple of my youth that continues to be fun with each repeated viewing.
Pants and shirts are in the second. Just throw them all into cardboard boxes. Forget the suitcases. Clark, can you translate all of that?
Why, certainly, Miss Walsh.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks.
La moto va nene en primer cajón. La coca y la rapidez van en el segundo. La heroína en el de abajo. Siempre hay que separar las drogas.
Number 9. Time Bandits. From the mind of visionary director Terry Gilliam comes the wackiest, most stylish time travel movie of all time. Produced by George Harrison and co-starring fellow Pythons Michael Palin and John Cleese, this rollicking journey jumps through time from the days of Robin Hood to the Titanic and everywhere in between. As a child, I still remember being creeped out by evil, as well as Kevin's dark room just before the bandits arrive. Thieves, ogres, giants, and gods, the film has it all. Oh, and did I mention Sean freaking Connery? Time Bandits is a timeless, quirky fantasy everyone should enjoy at least once.
God isn't interested in technology. He knows nothing of the potential of the microchip or the silicon revolution. Look how he spends his time. 43 species of parrots. Nipples for men. Slugs. Slugs! He created slugs that can't hear, that can't speak, that can't operate machinery. I mean, are we not in the hands of a lunatic?
Number 8. The Karate Kid. On the surface, The Karate Kid is a relatively straightforward coming-of-age sports movie. But looked at deeper, it's a surprisingly nuanced tale of friendship, loss, and redemption from the same director who brought us Rocky. Led by Ralph Macchio with an Oscar-nominated performance from Pat Morita, the film's heart lies in their relationship. And as a child that was always a bit of a social outcast growing up, a story that included overcoming adversity, finding strength and worth in yourself, definitely resonated, and still does.
Hey, where these cars come from?
Wax on. Detroit. Wax off.
Number 7. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? While animation and live action have come together before, no film has done it better than Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Directed by the brilliant Robert Zemeckis, produced by Steven Spielberg, the visuals mix a noir sensibility with the mayhem of classic animated shorts. It's also home to perhaps the greatest gathering of animated characters from multiple studios ever assembled. Where else could you see Daffy and Donald Duck slug it out, while in the same place see Bugs Bunny hang out with Mickey Mouse just to go skydiving? Even now, I am blown away by how well it was done and how well it still holds up. With a live-action cast that included Christopher Lloyd and Bob Hoskins, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is a movie that will have you begging please for years to come.
We demand justice. Why, the real meaning of the word probably hits you like a ton of bricks.
Number 6. Flash Gordon. If you only have 14 hours to save the Earth, then New York Jets quarterback Flash Gordon is the man for you.
Gordon's alive.
Number 5. Superman the Movie. This is the one that gave birth to the modern comic book movie. Director Richard Donner returns to this list for one of the best superhero outings ever made, with an amazing all-star cast that includes Gene Hackman, Margot Kidder, Marlon Brando, and the late Christopher Reeve as the Man of Steel himself. The story catches the sense of strength and wonder of the character, with just a touch of campy humor thrown in for good measure. Groundbreaking effects of the time made the flying scenes believable, earnest performances from Reeve and Kidder made the chemistry enjoyable, and John Williams' score makes the whole thing sweeping and epic. As a young boy, comic books were everything to me, and Superman was king. Seeing him fly in my earliest memories etched this movie into my heart forever. Superman remains a movie that will make you believe a man can fly.
Costa del X, Lutherville, Marina del X, Otisburg. Otisburg?
Where's this monster? She's got her own place, man.
Otisburg?
It's a little bitty place.
Otisburg?
Number 4. The Empire Strikes Back. The middle chapter of the original Star Wars trilogy was a dark departure for the series. While still maintaining the aesthetic feel of its predecessor, it built on the mythos and immersed us further into the world created in the first film. Returning characters Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca were now joined by new favorites like Boba Fett, Lando Calrissian, and of course, the mysterious and wise Yoda. Darth Vader, this time, is in a far more prominent role. The leash that Princess Leia refers to in A New Hope is gone for sure. He is far more present, focused, and terrifying. And as a child, his silhouette at the beginning of the Carbonite chamber duel truly scared me. Fast-paced action sequences, beautiful special effects, and yet another rousing John Williams score make this one a movie for all ages. Oh, and did I mention perhaps the greatest twist in cinema history?
Wow, what an ending! Who'd have thought Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father?
Number 3. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The oldest entry on this list is perhaps its most undisputed classic. Though not a huge success upon its opening, the movie earned unprecedented cult status due to repeated television broadcasts and home video sales. Showcasing an iconic performance by the legendary late-great Gene Wilder, the film is bright yet dark, funny yet scary, and bustling with charm and color. Standing nearly shoulder to shoulder with Wilder, of course, are those timeless songs that I sometimes still catch myself singing along with. With Golden Tickets, Slugworth, Chocolate Rivers, Oompa Loompas, The Great Glass Elevator, and WonkaVision, this is a movie that still stirs the pure imagination of anyone who watches it.
Try some more. The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Snozberries? Who ever heard of a snozberry?
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. Come along, come on.
Number 2. Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first movie in the Indiana Jones franchise is a top-notch roller coaster of adventure, from the moment of the first whip crack until the lid goes on the Ark. The creative team of Spielberg and Lucas weave a narrative full of humor, action, suspense, and romance, all backed by yet another stellar John Williams score. It's hard not to get caught up in the tension of its opening moments, scared by the Well of the Souls, or even find yourself cheering along to the truck chase when listening to that incomparable Williams music. It remains one of my all-time favorite scores. Featuring a rough-and-tumble performance by Harrison Ford as the titular archaeologist, along with a cast of unforgettable characters such as Sala, Belloc, and Marion, the film is an absolute must-see and remains a great example of storytelling even to this day.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Asps. Very dangerous. You go first.
Number 1. Back to the Future.
My name is Darth Vader. I am an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan.
So there you go. Those are my 13 movies that dominated my childhood. Now, while there were certainly more than that, and that's a list for another time, I'd love to hear some of yours. Feel free to leave those in the comment section below, along with a like and a subscribe, and thank you again for tuning in to Entertainment Mensa's Baker's Dozen. You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go. Bo, bo.